I'm appalled at what you said on that pod thing. It's disgusting.
This is the After the Show podcast. It's where we get honest and real with yo ass. So sit back, relax, have a blast, because it's time for the After the Show podcast.
Alrighty, hello and welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast. Getting our way into the weekend. Not gonna be long now. Big stuff going on this weekend. I know you're going to New York City, Virginia.
I am. I'm going for a funeral, but we're just going to try to have a little joy as well. The whole family together, which with Magnolia up at FSU now, it doesn't happen as much.
Right.
So it'll be nice for all of us to be together and celebrate Grandpa Carmine, who was all about family.
I'm a big fan of that, trying to go into situations of a celebration, and I get it. Sadness is always going to happen. That's regardless. But to go in there more of a celebration mind, that's what helped me get through my mom, at least. And I was still sad, but the idea of saying, let's celebrate and honor as, you lived on this planet, damn it.
And do it like they would have wanted. They don't want you to just give up on living and having fun and taking every advantage that you've been gifted.
But that's easier said than done for some people, which I get.
It is.
Yep. Christine in Brooklyn said that she has a nice listing of New York City restaurants that are gluten-free. If you want that, you can get a hold of her.
Love that.
Yeah. Connect you.
Connect to me on Instagram. DM me, girl.
Okay. Got her email address right here, too.
Oh, perfect. I'll do that.
Don't know if anybody's going to be going to Sugar Tit, South Carolina this weekend.
No, but it's on the bucket. It's on the...
Yeah. One of these days I will be able to say I've been to Sugar Tit.
It's on the suck
It's on the
list.
list of motorboating places we'd like to go.
The suck it list.
And AJ said, here's a picture of the distillery, Sugar Tit Distillery.
Wow.
And he said, I'm actually family friends with the owners. They're actually originally from Jensen Beach,
Wow.
the owners of the Sugar Tit, South Carolina Distillery. How about that?
It's a cute building.
Yeah, it is. And Donna in the Pizzle was saying, yeah, my daughters live down the road from the distillery. And if you look to the left of this building, it's my grandchildren's elementary school. The distillery was there long before the school, and they've been through several signs. People keep stealing the Sugar Tit Distillery sign. And so, yeah, now they've moved it there to the top of the building, you can see. But yeah, it's a small building if you're not watching KVJ TV. I mean, real small. Like an old schoolhouse kind of small. So not a lot of room in there. I said, yeah, they're coming to visit next month. So if you want any kind of Sugar Tit stuff, let me know. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, honestly, just the shirts alone you could do, Sugar Tit Distillery. I mean, that's just, people are going to buy that everywhere.
Absolutely.
That's
the
gonna do
shirts will
very
sell
well.
like hotcakes.
Yep. So, yes, whatever they get, Donna. But I love that. I might have to go online, too, and look. I want to get me a Sugar Tit Distillery.
Yeah, just add them all up and let us know the total of everything.
That's right. That's right. Also, if you're taking a trip to Chicago, thanks to Mountaineer Michelle, she reached out again about the gay bar I was talking about in Chicago, the largest one in the country. That, yeah, my cousins still own it. And you were right. They do Show Tune Mondays, which is what you were talking about.
That's fun.
Yeah, they actually pioneered the Show Tune thing in gay bars and a whole lot of other things as a gay couple in Chicago. They started the bar when it was just one door and no storefronts. And when the windows had to be blacked out for both a private and a safe space for those inside, so those outside couldn't see in because it wasn't safe. They got a lot of stories of the evolution of the bar and the gay rights experience in Chicago in the 80s and 90s. It's now 8 storefronts.
Wow.
Yeah.
They just kept buying over spaces.
Yeah, and they recently had a documentary made about them and their love story and their importance of gay civil rights. It's on Peacock, and it's called Art and Pep. And my mom's house makes a brief stint in it.
Wow.
Yeah. So very nice. So thank you for that, for reaching out. Some of the other things that we've heard from today, got an email from Ann, and she said, I'm going to be going to San Diego at the end of March. I've never been to California. Any suggestions on what to do or places to eat? I have 4 days to have fun during a work event. Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, I think you need that. We were there, 3 days, Virginia? Is that what it was?
We were, and I think we probably could have extended it a little bit because we didn't get into the depths. But getting off the tourist path and going to some of the places that your friend Bert took us to, that was nice.
Yeah. He's originally from San Diego. So
He took us to more beaches where there was like locals, great restaurants, fun vibes. It wasn't touristy. I mean, they have an area called the Quarters, right? The French Quarters, but that's really touristy.
Mm-hmm.
You wanted to go where the cults were at. There's a lot of cults in California.
C-U-L-T?
Yeah, cults.
Oh, no, I don't want to go there. I'm freaked out.
No?
I don't want to go to
I'm talking about the cool ones, the fun ones, dog, not the creepy ones.
I like going to the beach towns that are like not overrun with tourists, that are authentic and they have charm and character.
You don't want to be over the top with the people that are you visiting.
Right.
Yeah. There were a couple cool little places. The area that we were staying was actually really nice, and they had a cool little bar district there. Was it maybe like the Lamp District or something like that in downtown San Diego?
Gaslight?
Gaslight, there you go.
Yeah.
Gaslight, yeah. The Gaslight District was kind of cool. We went to fun kind of like little hippie-ish kind of territory that was there.
Yeah, that's where the cults are at.
Maybe. But yeah, that was nice as well. They had, if you look for, I think it's Ocean Beach.
Ocean Beach, yes.
It's kind of a cool little place, and there's a little strip there, some bars and restaurants where you can be right on the water. And then I think they had a fancier place, a little area that we didn't get to, that I hear recommended a lot when it comes to San Diego. It's just a little bit north of the downtown. So yeah, it'll be fine. You'll have a really good time. So enjoy yourself. I'll try to give you some more specific spots for San Diego. But yeah, we got to get back there. Got an email here. It says, I left Florida and moved to West Virginia for an aerospace company. And yeah, you're correct, Kev. They said Lewisburg was the coolest little town, so I moved. The plant was in Union, West Virginia, with a single-lane tunnel traveling to work, and they didn't even have stoplights. Yeah, Lewisburg, that's the town my grandparents lived in. So I know that town very well.
That's cool.
Yeah, and there's that's where I was telling you the bowling alley I went to with my cousin. There was about 300 cars in the parking lot, and they were all trucks. Yeah, that's that part. That's southern West Virginia.
We don't drive no cars, girly car.
Oh man, cars are for pussies.
If it ain't lifted, I ain't driving it.
That's it. Yeah, there were shotgun racks in the back of everyone.
Of course there were.
Now living in Naples, Florida, but kind of wanting to know here on an Am I the Jerk for calling out my daughter who is 34, and after 8 years I called her out for not letting her kids believe in, I know we shouldn't have kids listen to this, so I'll go ahead and say it here, but all of those mythical things that, pop up in kids' lives.
We've covered that on Weird and Whatever, and when to talk to them about that, because as a kid who was told to believe in them for a long time,
yeah,
it kind of backfired a little bit on me. There's an age where you need to let your kid know, in my opinion, saying this does not exist, and if not, you're gonna get fucking bullied.
Oh, I got you, because you may have,
might have, I don't know, believed a little too long, defended it too hard.
The Tooth Fairy?
Just anything that,
right.
any of those things. It was one I defended the hardest, and I defended at quite a late age, in my opinion, and I don't think it helped me out. Because then I remember lunch tables. They go, oh, tell us the story about the time the magical elf came by and your mom saw the footprint. Please tell us that story again. And I didn't even realize they were making fun of me.
Oh,
and then all of a sudden you go, holy shit, they were making fun of me.
Damn.
I'm getting trolled. Yeah.
Yes, I was getting trolled because I believed and defended so hard.
Yeah, I don't know what the right answer is. It says her kids are 8, 5, and 2. And, I held the conversation off for so many years. And, now when I finally said something, we haven't spoken in 2 weeks. She said her Christian beliefs would not allow her to create those dreams, as it would be lying to her children. Now, my parents, they never allowed that to happen. They were always at Christmas, the reason of the season, it was Jesus and all that kind of stuff. They said there's nothing else to it. And so they right away, they never allowed that belief for their Christian beliefs. And my dad has said later on, he's like, I'm not sure that was the right play, because there's something magical about it. And we kind of wish that we had, because it just kind of makes it fun and more exciting.
Oh, I agree. There is something magical, but every magical moment's got to have a time stamp.
And you're right. And so, with my kids, we never brought it up. And in Cannon, I think he was late in the game. He loved the Elf on the Shelf. And, we probably jaybirded him. I think we probably allowed it to go too long before we finally were just like, all right, he's and how we did it, we never even said, we just said, he's got to go away forever. Like, you've aged out of this. There's no more. My
friend, I was talking in my kitchen, and my buddy goes, What are you talking about, man? You know that's not real, right? And my mom was in the kitchen too, and she was cooking something, and I just saw her body language just kind of slump over. I'm like, Mom, what's he talking about? She's like, Jay, I'm sorry. I'm like,
oh, man.
Damn it, what? I felt so betrayed.
Wow. Yeah, I could see that. I tried to go, because I didn't want to blatantly lie to the kids, but, when they would ask about, some of those things, I would just say, look, yeah, they've talked about a Saint Nick, and I believe that there's, something magical about this season. So I would, it was light lies. I was lightly lying. I wasn't trying to blatantly say, yeah, there's a fat dude that squeezes down our chimney and brings the presents and all that. But we did. I mean, as it came through, we lied to him, and I don't know that I regret it, because I thought it was pretty cool, and I thought it was a little bit more magical.
And I don't want people to get it twisted, because I agree with you. I think it's cool to have the magic and all that. But, when your kids start shaving,
you're right.
Let
You're
him
right.
know.
Yeah.
He's shaving.
Let the motherfucker know.
I think when they're getting into double digits, probably your 4th, 5th grade, you're probably starting to age out of it. What would you think the cutoff age would be, Virginia, before it's got to be, the kid's got to understand what's really going on?
Yeah, 4th grade's good.
Well, I started getting suspicious for the old tooth fairy, and I caught them in a lie, and I go, all right. They lied about that, but I know they're being honest about the Easter Bunny. And then all of a sudden I started thinking, this shit ain't adding up either. So I acted like I was sleeping one night.
How does this bunny bring so many eggs?
And I heard them come in my room, and they go, oh, yeah, all right, he's sleeping. And I waited for about 2 minutes, and then I watched him out in the backyard and go, huh, so this is a bunch of horse shit too. But I go, there's no way they're lying about the big jolly red fella. There's no way.
Aww.
Yeah. It's kind of how it goes.
Strike 3.
But did you believe for your sister? Because isn't Becky younger?
Becky is younger. I think she did.
She knew before you?
No, I think she believed too. Man, I don't know. I got to ask her. That's a great question, because she was not as nearly devastated as I was.
She was living in reality.
You gotta understand, I was like a lawyer at school, defending to the death. And then I look back and go, damn, man, that was not a good look.
They set you up.
They did. I was like, fuck, Mom.
You're fighting with kids about how the Easter Bunny is real AF.
Never Easter. It was never, but it was the big guy. He was
Well, speaking of mythical things that some people do not believe exists, RJ sent an email about our new studio. It says, I know you touched a little bit on this, but do you have any kind of time frame on when you're going to move into your new studio? I never noticed your bright head, Kev.
Aww.
It's not that bad. Thank you. All right, appreciate it, RJ.
We've talked about how I think we're going to be in there for Jay Bird's birthday.
Early May?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as we get closer to that, it starts to feel less possible.
Yeah, I know. I've put it, I don't know. And it's a functioning studio. They put the cameras in. It looks amazing. I've seen what that looks like. I guess there's rewiring that has to be done that affects all of the studios and the stations that we own. And we have, 5 or 6 of those?
And that's going to take some time.
Yes. And so that is if you're like, well, what the hell's going on? And I am too. But I guess that's it. That's the part that nobody knows and can put a time frame on. But it sounds like that's going to be a big mess because when they build all these studios, nobody labeled the cords. And they don't know where they go.
And they're held together by bubble gum and scotch tape.
Basically, yes. And so, in a sense, while they get our studio up and running so that we can do it, they also have to take into consideration like 5 other studios and how that's going to affect that. I guess it's kind of a chain reaction type thing.
Oh, wow.
And I'm not sure we expected that in the beginning, right? It was that kind of
I think as they kind of rolled their sleeves up and started getting into it, they said, all right, this is going to be an issue, and they wanted to do it right. So, and I don't blame them. So they're, I think, eventually going to be kind of retouching up and doing all the studios. So they want to just kind of get it done the right way. So we'll see. Yeah, I would love it. Hopefully, we're talking a month and a half. That'd be fantastic.
But they're doing a great job because it's not easy.
Right.
Yes, it's not easy.
Mm-hmm. So when it's done, I think you guys will see I know you will see a massive difference in how KVJ TV looks, and that'll affect our social media and all that stuff too. It's going to be closer. It's going to be crisper. It's going to look a lot better. And
Absolutely.
Yeah, mm-hmm. So after seeing it now, when I see what KVJ TV looks like, I'm like, gosh, I got a shiny head. It's dark. A lot of problems.
You're a beacon to lost ships.
You're
so
right. Absolutely.
Sometimes
how many people can say that?
Sometimes my camera goes in and out with this odd, really weird green screen effect.
Yes, right.
And it flashes, and you may get a seizure if you have those type of...
Right. It could. Stephanie said, I came across a story the other day, and I'm wondering how far does Bird's Bigfoot is real go? Have you ever heard of Teresa Ann Beyer, I guess? B-I-E-R, Beer? She was abducted in California in 1987, and the man she was with claims that she was taken by Bigfoot.
Oh, yeah, that guy. I'm sure that's what happened. A weird guy in California taking a girl. No, I'm not buying the Bigfoot story.
Not buying it.
Straight up murder.
Okay.
That's your excuse, Bigfoot?
Bigfoot murdered my girlfriend.
That was the last person to see my girl.
That's so ridiculous.
I watched him take her into the woods.
Dude, that's the best you've got.
We've never seen her since. Don't look under the shed.
Is that a documentary? I do not know that story.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Something to look into, I
will
guess.
look into that.
All right. Everything you love.
Murder.
Missing people.
Murder,
Yeah.
Bigfoot. I mean, murder and Bigfoot hardly ever come together so beautifully.
You're right.
Now, Ryan from Lake Worth Beach, she's going down an interesting path here. Have you guys followed at all the Brian Koberger story? That's the guy that had murdered the 4 college students in Idaho.
I've tried to follow it. I do know quite a few things about it, but I can't figure out, like, do they have DNA?
Yeah,
That's what I want. I want his DNA on their bodies. That would clinch it for me.
What I had seen, it was on Friday was the last update, and that was where they had some of the text messages that had come out. And
between the roommates.
yeah, and saying that, they couldn't find one, and a lot of time had passed. They saw somebody in the house wearing a mask or a shadowy figure, and the one person, I guess, was scared and had left. And so there's some interesting things, but putting together timelines with the text messages, and Ryan said there's so much overwhelming DNA and digital evidence, but what makes the case really interesting is all the weird details, like the alleged online posts from Koberger before and after the murders, and also the strange behavior from his dad in the days after the murder.
Also the roommate, too.
Yeah, well, why it took the 2 surviving roommates 8 hours to call 911.
Because here's what happened. This is a college house. There are people coming in and out all the time. Randos, parties. Some of the roommates came home late. Some of the roommates were already home. Some of the roommates, all of the roommates, I think, had been drinking.
And maybe on drugs, possibly.
Who knows? But they were all in some state of intoxication. And so they didn't know who was in their house. And the 2 roommates, one of them went to the other girl's room, the 2 ones that lived. And they were texting the other roommates. They didn't hear from anybody. They were drinking, and they were like, oh, we're probably just blowing this out of proportion. And they went to sleep. They went to bed not knowing what had happened to their other roommates.
And they just thought that masked man was a guy that just was just masking it up that night?
I guess. They didn't know who he was, but they were used to having strangers in the house. That had happened before where they had strangers in the house.
I will say I am a little alarmed, though, even if I'm fucked up, if a masked man came in the house, I'm like, that's a little weird to me. It's a little odd.
The two went to bed, and then they didn't realize something was amiss until they woke up the next day, like at noon, like college kids do after a bender.
Yeah, I'm not saying the roommate had anything to do with it.
The roommates didn't.
But it just adds another layer of what the shit happened.
Right. It's weird, but when you think about intoxicated college kids, they made bad choices.
The thing that doesn't help is the fact that, well, I saw this masked man and I didn't do anything about it. That's what comes off weird when you hear that.
Right.
And so what Koberger's attorney's trying to do is, you have to create some doubt in people's minds. And it sounds like he is going the OJ defense is what Ryan is saying, where they're challenging the DNA evidence, claiming it was planted, and this Koberger's being framed.
Boy, oh boy, why would they frame him?
They wouldn't. That's just a shot in the dark. If they've got his DNA in that house, there was no reason for him to be there. He didn't go to school there. He didn't live there. Like, get out of here. You're done. You're guilty. Lock him up.
If that doesn't work, just say Bigfoot did it.
Yeah. Yeah, it does seem kind of crazy along that kind of path.
Well, I mean, you're the person that you're the most likely suspect to do it, and then you give off the most bizarre answer ever. You've got two things really working against you there.
Yeah,
you're the last to be around, and Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Or it doesn't fit. The glove doesn't fit.
Right.
If your DNA is there, I don't care if the glove doesn't fit.
Now, there are times where DNA has been there and it's fucked somebody over in the wrong way because they have been there at earlier times.
Yeah.
There was no reason for him to have ever been there.
I agree. This is a different kind of story.
Yeah, and his attorney's already tried something about, I guess, Koberger's ADHD, to have a hard time in court on the witness stand or
you know
something
what?
like that.
We would all have a hard time in court on the witness stand. It's stressful. Guess what? Your DNA is in the apartment. You have to go on trial.
Oh, let me guess. He suffers from anxiety as well?
Yeah.
That's what everyone says.
You know who probably also had anxiety? The people that you murdered the night that you killed them.
So I haven't done a deep dive on it, but I did see, breaking down the timeline a bit, it was at 4 a.m. Victim Xana Kernodle received a DoorDash order, and a roommate thought she heard another victim, Kaylee Concalves, playing with her dog. Shortly after, the roommate heard someone say, "There's someone here." At 4:17 a.m., a security camera captured a dog barking and a loud thud. By 4:30 a.m., the roommates were texting each other in fear, referencing a masked figure in the house. One later saw a man dressed in black walk past her before leaving through a sliding glass door. A 911 call was placed at 11:58 a.m. after one victim's unresponsive body was discovered. The surviving roommates initially described the situation as a drunken person not waking up, but later mentioned seeing an unknown man in the house.
They thought their roommate that had been murdered was just drunk and hungover and just laying in the bed.
Yeah.
With the masked man leaving through the sliding glass door? That shit's fucking creepy.
I think they might have seen the masked man and they left through the sliding glass door because they're like, who is that?
Oh.
And they felt weirded out.
No, they stayed.
Oh, they did?
The roommates stayed and went to
okay.
bed. They
Okay.
slept because they were
misunderstood
scared.
that.
They were drunk. They're stupid young people that didn't handle it right.
They heard they heard stuff go on?
They heard stuff going, but they didn't know what they heard. She thought she heard the girl playing with the dog. It probably wasn't the girl playing with the dog.
And then she saw the masked man leave through the sliding glass door. That's fucking weird, man. I'm sorry. That's a weird detail. When
Yeah.
I hear that just doesn't sit right. And again, I'm not saying that the roommates had anything to do with it, but that is weird.
It is weird.
That's a weird way to react to that situation.
And it's a memory that maybe she didn't have till the next day because she was intoxicated.
The rule is from now on, well, here's what we've learned, kids. When you see a masked man leave out the sliding glass door, call 911 immediately.
Yeah, instead of texting each other, somebody should have called 911.
Yeah. His trial is set for August. He could face the death penalty if convicted. And I haven't really delved into this just because to me it on the surface appears like a pretty open and shut case. This guy did it.
If his DNA is there was no reason for his DNA to be in that house.
Yeah. So we'll see. But it sounds like they're going to try to throw a Hail Mary.
Oh, that's what they're going to do.
They always do.
They always do.
That's the defense attorney's job.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing Ryan was bringing up today was just the amount of car thefts are happening in the Lake Worth Green Acres and West Boynton area.
It's happening a lot in Palm Beach Gardens as well. I'm getting a lot of next door notifications that people, again, masked people breaking into shit.
Yeah, he went and actually there's a map you can go to. It shows you where cars were jacked. And look at that concentration.
Wow.
Right on Lake Worth Beach. That'd be the eastern part, not west.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Good gosh.
He said that, you got to remove all your valuables from your cars, check for tracking devices. If you have keyless entry, assume your signal was copied at some point.
Oh, wow.
They can duplicate wireless signals like your garage door opener and your key fobs. So...
That's horrifying.
Yeah, typically, they go for the catalytic converter, but they may just jack the whole car. You'd think that would be easier.
They'd be so disappointed to break into my Jeep.
They wouldn't break into your Jeep
They'd get a Chewbacca mask that's half eaten.
with a stain on it.
Mm-hmm. He said last month I saw the number 30 over a neighborhood near Jog and High Paluxo, indicating 30 cars were broken into.
Wow.
And I think it was a gated neighborhood too. So, yeah, just a nice little PSA out there. You should already know that, but still, it's happening a lot, especially there.
The fact that they can duplicate the signal coming off of your key fob is horrifying.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Got an email here from Diana. Said, I heard Virginia telling the story about Wendy Williams. I believe it's her goddaughter or niece that is a news anchor at WPLG in Miami, Channel 10.
Ah, so the niece that came to see her and then snuck her out of the facility is maybe also doing a story about how they're treating Wendy wrong.
Yeah, I mean, if you had that connection to Wendy Williams, it'd be a great story to have. And if you could help your aunt out or whatever she might be. Godmother.
Yeah, I mean, your aunt might have been the one that got you your gig because Wendy was on top of the world 10 years ago in New York.
Right. Absolutely. Interesting. And Astra is a little curious here. Said, I was just kind of wondering, a few years back, V was presented the question, what if suddenly Magnolia were to start dating Tyler Cameron? And that kind of hit me. I want to ask her how she would think or feel if Rocco, once he turns 18, would start dating one of her girlfriends, like in the Booty Crew.
My girlfriends are now in their 50s. So
Right, that would whoa.
Honestly, that'd be real fucking weird.
Wow. Would you be mad at one of your friends, or would you tell Rocco that's forbidden?
Well, Magnolia is about to be 20, and yes, Tyler Cameron is 30.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different than if Rocco, who is, 18, decides to date one of my girlfriends who's 61.
Rocco,
Wow.
you stay away from that 60-year-old taco.
Yeah, I'd be like, dude, I don't know. They might be like,
Dude.
Rocco, come on, man.
Rocco.
Tells me you don't have to worry about that. I think you're good.
Yeah.
I as long as the person is nice, I'll be happy with my kids dating whoever they want. I don't think that, age is that big of a deal. If the person is a good human and not taking advantage of the situation.
Yes.
Yes.
Tyler Cameron would not. I don't think a woman that's older would be taking advantage of Rocco for, I don't know, anything other than just sexual, which usually young boys are into.
It's getting weird.
Yeah. Well, and Rocco, too, he's still, got that innocence about him.
That would be why it's getting weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't really understand the birds and the bees yet.
Yeah, I think
We're breadcrumbing him.
I think you start getting crushes but you don't start really kind of expressing it. Wouldn't you say till about 10, 11? When you really kind of start to feel comfortable about saying, I have a crush on her. Because some kids are shy about it. You don't even, I didn't know what was happening. I'm going, why am I having all these butterflies when I look at this girl, Sarah? What's going on with all this? You're having you're having one of your first crushes.
Yeah.
And that can be overwhelming if you don't know what the fuck's happening.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Now, and I guess to exemplify Rocco's innocence, he went and got a bag of delicious Skittles for his dad.
He did.
Panda.
He did.
And now, looking at the writing on this, are these Skittles from China? It's an Asian, and I don't know Mandarin, I don't know Japanese, so I don't know the difference.
Yes. So Rocco loves exotic snacks.
Uh-huh.
You know, a lot of times when you go into the head shop, you can find like, Doritos from China.
Yeah, now if you're watching YouTube right now, Denny's has posted the photo, and
Rocco loves his dad.
Yeah.
And we call his dad Panda.
yeah.
So anything he sees with a panda on it, he wants to buy it for his dad.
Okay, now what's interesting, if you're watching YouTube right now, they have a panda on there, and that's kind of cool. So it's probably, I assume this is probably from China. But the weird thing is the panda that is on there is laying on its belly, its arms out in front of it, its leg kind of kicked up, almost like it's in a sexual position.
Dog, that's panda style.
Yes, and the thing is, they've got, maybe it's one of the fruit snacks or whatever, but it's a hand that is kind of balled up into a fist, and it looks like it's going in the panda's ass.
It looks like he's almost doing, I don't want to say it, but one of the pink and one of the stink.
The panda's getting fisted.
Or the shocker.
Or the shocker.
Or the shocker.
Look at Virginia.
What is going on there? Why would they? That looks nothing but sexual. I don't even understand what the innocence would be on this.
There's no explanation for why that would be on a bag of kids' candy.
Or it's either getting fingered or it's getting spanked, and both of them
are inappropriate.
It almost looks like the fingers disappeared into the panda's ass.
It's not getting spanked, y'all. I'm telling you.
No, I don't think it's. I think it's a fisting.
Rocco gave this to his dad, and his dad couldn't believe it. He's like, "Son, why would you give me this?"
So your options are this, Kevin. If you were to do one of your polls, it's either getting spanked, it's either getting fisted, or it's one of the pink, one of the stink. Kevin's doing it.
Okay.
I think it's one of the pink, one of the stink.
We need to vote, and everyone needs to let us know what they feel. Is this panda being violated?
Because
fist style?
Some people think it's fisted. Some people think it is.
One in the pink, one in the stink.
Yeah, absolutely. And some people think it's just a slap.
Okay.
But that thing is on all fours.
That panda is taking it.
Taking it.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's there right now, so people are giving us their thoughts. I don't know.
You are twisted.
Twisted people in China, I guess.
So are you counting the shocker as one in the pink, one in the stink? Is that pretty much?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you've got the options of fisted, spanked, or the shocker. So what is the panda getting? And right now, kind of running away with it is 60% think that the panda is being fisted.
Fisted?
Fisted, yes. 24%. It's kind of flipping back and forth between the shocker and spank, but you're right at about the 20 to 24% range right now. But it's overwhelming majority is thinking that the panda is being fisted.
Wow, I did not see that coming.
Okay. How about that? Well, how about that?
That is awesome.
That is next level.
That's funny stuff.
Yeah, and somebody suggested trying Google Translate to see what the bag says. That's interesting.
Yeah, what does the bag say?
All right, I'll check it out.
Yeah, okay.
One in the pink.
Yeah, I never thought of that. Yeah, so if you look at the writing, what is the writing saying on it? Now, I have the Google Translate. I've never done it with the camera. That's kind of interesting.
That is. So you take a picture of something and then you send it through Google Translate?
Yeah, I guess what it is, yeah, because it looks like it's, I'll see if I can get it to work here. So I assume I would want to look for, I'm going to take a chance on Mandarin. hoping that they have it here. But of course, yeah, the app I'm going to doesn't look like it has Mandarin. I think it's MAN, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they don't have it.
Yeah, fisting ran away with it. It's over.
Ironically, if someone fists you, you're not running away with anything.
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. That's what people think. And yeah, I mean, they're not going to on the bag of candy say, I don't know, fisting panda, are they?
That's a great name for a. If you sold that at a sex shop, I'll take a bag of the fisting pandas. That absolutely would play.
Yeah. Okay.
They got them sex mushrooms at the sex shop, and they got all kind of weird names for them, and I could totally hear fisting pandas.
Yeah, I'm going to try it out and see how well it works. Seeing what it says. It says little paintball gummies is what I guess it's saying.
That's what the language says?
That's what it looks like, yeah. Little paintball gummies.
They're opening up for the fisting pandas.
Fascinating. All right, well, thank you very much for all the interesting emails today and checking us out. You always can on YouTube, and send us the emails, mail@kvjshow.com. Y'all have a great day. We got a Friday. Get your weekend off right here tomorrow. We'll see you then. Goodbye.